Welcome to A Spa for Your Mind, guided meditations to help calm and focus your mind. We will use an active meditation to engage your imagination and keep your mind occupied and relaxed. These visual journeys will be interwoven with passive meditations or periods of silence that will help sharpen your focus and concentration. When you hear repeating phrases or counting followed by silence, try to continue that activity in your mind until the story resumes. So sit back, get comfortable, and close your eyes. Let's begin by taking a few deep breaths. Inhale through your nose and hold. Then slowly exhale through your mouth. Drop your shoulders. Inhale through your nose and hold. And slowly exhale through your mouth. Feel the tension drain away. Inhale through your nose and hold. And slowly exhale through your mouth. Excellent. Let's begin. Back and forth through the sloping lot, the plowman slowly turns the dingy dirt, and in the rich brown furrow following in his track, we see the cackling troop of hens and the lordly rooster search out the dainty tidbits for a sumptuous feast. The whole landscape has become infused with life and motion. In the distance we notice a recurring little puff of mist, bursting into view, then softly vanishing against the pasture. Another glance detects the slow progress of horse and cart, as the farmer sows his load of plaster across the whitening field. Farther up, where the brow of the hill stands clear against the sky, a pacing figure with measured sweep of arm scatters the handfuls of wheat, one handful, then two handfuls, then three. And the horse team and plow soon are in his path, combing and crumbling the dark brown soil. Across the meadow, we see the first welcome nibble of fresh grass for the poor cow, whose hungry cries now echo through the barn nearby. The animals casually but purposefully chomp through the day, eagerly nosing through the tufts of green grass for young tender shoots. Bite after bite after bite. So runs the record of a busy day in early springtime, and with its all-absorbing tilling, it is a day that quickly passes. The afternoon runs into evening. Cool shadows creep across the landscape as the glowing sun sinks through the still bare and leafless trees and disappears behind the wooded hills. In the dim shadows of the evergreens beyond, a faint gray object steals into view. Now it stops at the old watering trough, and I hear the sip of the eager horse and the splash of overflowing water. I hear the sound of hoofs upon the stones. Clip-clop, clip-clop, clip-clop. As the horse renews his way, the dragging of the chain upon the gravelly bed and the receding form is lost in the darkening road. One by one, the scattered barns and houses have disappeared in the gathering dusk, marked only by the faint columns of blue smoke that rise above the trees and melt away against the twilight sky. I look out upon a wilderness of darkness, where all above is still and clear, and all below is wrapped in thick mystery. A soft song now breaks the impressive stillness. Again and again I hear the lonely little voice of a frog singing through the low-lying mist, singing and singing and singing. It is only a little frog in some far-off marsh, but what a sweet sense of sadness is awakened by that lowly melody. How its minor key, with its magic touch, unlocks the treasures of the heart. Only the peeping of a frog, but where in the great chorus of nature's sweetest music is there another song so lulling in its dreamy melody, so full of that emotive charm which quickens the human heart. How many times have I lingered near some roadside bog and let these little wizards weave their mystic spell about my willing senses, while the very air seemed to quiver in the fullness of their song. I remember the tangle of tall and withered thickets, through whose mysterious depths the eye in vain would strive to penetrate at the sound of some faint splash or ripple, or perhaps at the quaint high-keyed note of some little isolated hermit piping in his somber solitude. I recall the first glimpse of the rising moon, as its great golden face peered out at me from over the distant hill, enclosing half the summit against its broad and luminous surface. Slowly and steadily it seemed to steal into view, until, risen in its fullness, I caught its image in the trembling ripples at the edge of the pool. Higher and higher it sails across the dark sky, higher and higher and higher. The moon's glow now changed to a silvery pallor, across whose white halo, in a floating film, the ghostly clouds glide in their silent flight. A dull tinkling of some distant cowbell breaks the spell, and recalls my wandering thoughts, and as I again take up my way along the moonlit road, the glimmering windows on right and left betray the hiding places of a score of humble homes. Not far beyond, I see the swinging motion of a flickering lantern, as some farmer's boy, whistling about his work, clears up his nightly chores. Now he enters the old barn door. I see the light glinting through the open cracks, and hear the lowing of the cows and the rattling chains of oxen in the stanchion rows. Now again I catch the gleam at the open door. The swinging light flits across the yard, swinging, swinging, swinging.